has over 1,500 games. Secure and fast game fees. Meron pang paper fun option to try all the games. Ibang swerte ko. Bet, init, each. Ano ang choice mo? Sarap! Spicy!
Tagal ng sipon kapag hirap ang immunity. Mag-best ever meals at Z plus Forte with zinc. Pinapalakas ang immunity laban sa sipon virus. Mas bilis galing. Meals at Z plus Forte. Unilab yan.
Wings, chicken legs, all kinds of part of chicken they have available in Kaufland. Tsaka mura, and then it's cheap. Okay, so sausage. What you gonna? Do we still have sausage? Okay.
Parang pizza na forma kasi sarap sa kape, kailan alas 8 na ng gabi. Ayos. Sarap talaga.
That's correct.
Ano ba din? Gusto siya sa akin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Finish.
Finish. Yung natirang sabaw. Kainin ni Sophia. And,
Could I have no egg, please?
huh?
I don't like egg.
Mommy, the egg.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of egg. I have food from Maminka.
Oh, what's that? Wow.
Fish fillet with mashed potato.
That's Maminka made
No, that's a leftover.
from yesterday.
Yesterday
Everything from yesterday. Even this one from yesterday.
because
Uh.
my sister went out.
Where? Where she went?
She went to visit her friend.
Where? Farm?
So that's her portion. So I ate my sister's lunch.
Hmm. Okay. Finish. But maybe give it to mommy that gift. Maybe she wants it.
Yeah, I will eat the egg.
Okay. Bon appetit.
I'm doing the laundry. Mommy made me do it. I was watching a movie with my dad, and then Mommy called me to do something.
We don't. Yeah, we don't curse. We don't swear. Bad words is not in our
Vocabulary.
vocabulary. Right? Yeah. Oh, Shawshank Redemption. What can you say?
That was a really good movie.
Really good movie? Ratings? Rate.
9.5.
Wow, that's too high. Very high. Yeah?
Ask Sissy what she likes.
Oh, she likes sleeping. Sleep. Okay, give her bath now. Yeah? Yeah. Shawshank Redemption. So for those who haven't
In February 2021, in the quiet of a warehouse hidden deep in the heart of Tottenham's industrial estate, a lorry from the port backed into the yard. The cargo was bananas, nothing suspicious. But seconds later, as the warehouse doors swung open, the air froze. A squad of armed police officers swept in, moving in silence, in a silent, orderly fashion, like a silent storm. No one shouted, no one resisted, and no one believed that among those seemingly harmless crates of fruit was hidden a secret that could shake the entire national security system. What made it all so terrifying was not the quantity of the cargo, but the way it had entered the UK, quietly, silently, passing through every layer of checks without leaving a trace. So what was really going on behind the back doors of legal importers? This was not just about bananas and cocaine. It was about power, about faceless puppeteers. And if you want to know the source of this seemingly untouchable line, hit subscribe. You won't want to miss the rest. The heart of the case leads us to a name that sounds unremarkable: Agro Food Limited, a fruit import business that operated quietly in North London. On paper, the company was run by Petko Zhutev, a quiet, unscrupulous Bulgarian. But behind the obscure name was a network designed to disguise an international operation. No one living near Agro-Food's warehouse or office ever suspected anything. There were no strange transactions, no noises, no unusual movements of people. Everything was kept to a minimum, just enough to avoid attracting attention. just enough to keep regular shipments from South America flowing. But what no one on the outside could see was the chain that operated behind Petco. Young, cool, and extremely cautious men of Albanian descent. They had no formal role in the contract, and yet they were the ones who determined the course of the entire operation. From the choice of port to the delivery schedule, from the person who received the goods to how to handle suspicious situations, every detail was tightly controlled. The drugs were shipped from Colombia, transited through Europe, and imported into the UK under the guise of bananas, a common commodity, easy to check lightly, and not arousing suspicion. It was all calculated like a chess game, where every move was programmed to avoid absolute risk. But in a game of this complexity, if just one piece was placed in the wrong place, the whole board would collapse. The shipment was just one link in a vast operation that had been planned long in advance. A transaction that was perfectly disguised as the import of tropical fruit. Bananas from South America were the ideal commodity, easy to transport, popular in Europe, and least likely to attract suspicion when passing through international borders. But for the criminal group behind Agro-Food LLC, bananas were just a mask. What they were really after were tightly packed blocks of white cocaine, packed into large boxes and then wedged deep between pallets of fruit. To do so, they needed close coordination from international links, the source in Colombia, the transit points in Spain or the Netherlands, and finally the UK, a potential consumer market. The motive was not limited to drug profits. The group also used the shipments to launder money, transferring illegal profits to legal ones through seemingly innocuous invoices, shell companies, and supply chains. The less they attract attention, the more powerful they become. The quieter they are, the harder they are to detect. No murders, no tattooed gangs fighting each other. Just the chilling sophistication of criminal minds that have turned international trade into an underground chessboard. Where every container that gets through, millions of pounds are system, and with just one slip, it can all come crashing down like a tower of paper. When the shipment arrived at Portsmouth, it was still foggy. The containers were being loaded into the inspection yard as usual, but this time there was a big change. The UK border agency had received intelligence from a European counterpart, warning that a large quantity of cocaine was hidden in a banana shipment from Colombia. A special investigation team was set up overnight, including cargo analysts, customs inspectors, and experienced drug enforcement officers. They didn't need to break open the boxes to inspect the bananas. A new generation of X-ray scanners immediately detected anomalies in 41 pallets, with solid blocks cleverly hidden inside, squeezed between layers of real bananas. After several hours of verification, the conclusion was clear. This was 2.3 tons of pure cocaine, worth more than 210 million pounds, one of the largest seizures in the history of the port. However, the most remarkable thing was not the discovery, it was how the authorities decided to deal with it. They didn't make the arrests at the port. They knew that if they acted too soon, they would only catch a few middlemen and miss out on the entire network. So a perfect replacement plan was put into action. Within 24 hours, all the cocaine had been replaced with real bananas of the same weight. The pallets were rearranged exactly as they had been before. But this time, some of the containers were fitted with GPS trackers, environmental recorders, and lid opening sensors, all of which were invisible to the naked eye. And to keep a tight lid on the route, an undercover officer was put in charge of the transport. The ordinary lorry rolled out of Portsmouth in suspicious silence. It passed through internal checks like any other lorry and headed north towards London, to an old warehouse owned by Agro-Foods Leeuwarden. Their remote surveillance was activated. Unbeknownst to the gang members, hidden cameras recorded the entire unloading process. They were in no hurry, no stress, just checking each box, opening a few pallets as to verify that the goods were still intact. But the moment they opened the third pallet, the signal from the sensor was transmitted to the command center. That was when the rapid response team took action. In less than 30 seconds, the roller shutters were pulled up, headlights flashed from both ends of the warehouse, and a fully armed task force rushed in. No gunfire, no resistance. But the suspects' eyes were filled with absolute shock. They could not believe that the plan had been monitored from start to finish. Right at the scene, the police seized a pistol hidden in a safe, 5 unused bullets, 9 brand new empty suitcases, prepared to transport cash. Clear evidence of large-scale money laundering. They also seized more than a dozen encrypted cell phones, most of them unregistered. The group's only means of communication was swept away to weather, shipping, or customs. But for those who track cross-border smuggling, the repetition was the first sign of a shady link. The UK border agency began with Europol, the Dutch anti-drug smuggler containers. Codes, strange symbols, and a partially erased schedule left in its temporary memory. They discovered that it had taken an unplanned route. That was the starting point for a whole chain of tracing. The inspectors began to trace. That was the starting point for a whole chain of tracing. The inspectors began to trace each link, from the warehouse to the driver, from the banana supplier to the bank accounts that had received the payments. One of the cash bank making regular transfers of 80,000 pounds a month to a supplier of organic fertilizer, which did not exist in stock. Further investigation revealed shell companies in the names of foreigners with no UK residency records. To legitimize the flow of money, payments were split up, the recipients changed, and wrapped up in a series of fictitious contracts. A security camera at a petrol station, series of fictitious contracts. A security camera at a petrol station near Tottenham's industrial.
Alex Hogan joins us now from the outskirts of Tel Aviv. Alex?
Hi, good morning. I'm in Bat Yam, which is a suburb of Tel Aviv.
The sun was just rising over the city of Ouagadougou. Birds flew across the bright orange sky. The people were already waking up and getting ready for their day. But inside the presidential office, President Ibrahim Traoré sat quietly at his desk.
In the heart of West Africa, where mornings break over dry fields and quiet villages, a young man once kissed his wife goodbye and promised he'd return. His name was Ibrahim Traore. To the world, he's a soldier turned president, the youngest head of state alive, a man who rose from the shadows to lead a country, or the father whose children only knew bedtime stories through grainy phone calls. Behind the sharp salute and national speeches is someone real, someone who misses birthdays, who prays before every mission, who once wrote letters he never sent. This is not the story of a president, it's the story of a man who became one, without ever letting go of who he was. The children who learned patience before they learned how. The quiet kitchen where big decisions were made over small meals. Love didn't and quiet moments. It was as though time had frozen during those years apart, and now the promise they offers to appear in official portraits or participate in any public events. Ask about her role, she responds, "I am not the one chosen. He is." Her humility speaks louder than any public appearance, a quiet strength that radiates from within. Traore returns home whenever possible, always after dark, always in silence. The children rush to him when he arrives, their excitement filling the room. He brings them small wood in the big winds.
To probably near the Situation Room this morning. We're going to go back to the top-breaking story, which is war in the Middle East. Trey Yates is live on the ground in Israel, and we're getting more details and reports about this crossfire between the two countries. Trey?
Yeah, guys, we're here in central Israel as rescue crews are digging through the rubble in the aftermath of an Iranian ballistic missile attack. They believe there are people buried under this debris in a nearby medical center, and he has come back and he's waiting to see if his father will come out alive. It's a very sad scene here, and it is tense as these rescue workers look to see if they can find anyone still trapped. You'll see these chains here on the side of this building. There's a large crane that's being used to lift these pieces of concrete up and out of the way so that rescue crews can go back in. You'll also hear a buzzing sound in the distance. That is a drone that is trying to help with this rescue operation. And you're going to see right now, I'm just going to show you, they're going to pull this large piece of cement, and this is what they have been doing all morning. There were multiple people killed in this individual strike, but there were more than 70 ballistic missiles fired toward the population of Israel last night, some of them slamming into the ground below, killing at least 7 people. I do now want to bring in a former IDF spokesman, Major Doron Spielman, to talk about what we know about this ongoing operation to target Iranian nuclear sites and also to target the top IRGC officials who are ordering these ballistic missile attacks. Doron, thank you for joining us. What should the American people know about what is happening here in Israel?
Well, first of all, right behind me, Trey, this is the reason why we took out that surprise initiative, the preemptive strike against Iran. They've been saying for years, Trey, that this is what they're going to do. They're going to destroy and eliminate the Israeli people. This is with a non-nuclear warhead. This entire building coming down, people trapped beneath the rubble. Can we imagine if Iran was able to have a nuke? There's no army bases here. This is the middle of a neighborhood. There's a kindergarten across the street. This is what Israel has to stop. And for the United States, that stands behind Israel, the same Iran that's threatening Israel threatens the United States. The United States right now has an option in front of them. They've helped us do this. However, the president has a choice to go down in history as protecting the United States from a nuclear Iran. That will decide what happens in the next few days.
My last question has to do with what comes next. We are seeing waves and waves of Iranian ballistic missiles slamming into cities across Israel. Women and children were killed last night. Israeli leaders are here today. as these rescue teams dig for survivors. What comes next? How does this end?
This is the same front like the pilots that are striking Iran. We knew when we struck Iran, which is a historic opportunity, they would respond. The Israeli public has been prepared for this. They know that our aerial defense is not 100%. I can hear them out front saying, long live the state of Israel. This is the front line, and these families are truly heroes. We will do everything we can to stop this, but as a nation, this is an existential moment. We will stay strong until this is taken care of, but we can't do it alone. We get the first shot. The United States is going to have to take the final blow against this to knock Iran out of the picture and allow a new region to rebuild. It's in our hands, Trey. The opportunity to have a world free of a nuclear Iran is up to the United States and Israel.
Doron, thank you very much. Major Doron Spielman, a former IDF spokesman. But just to recap, guys, what we know here, behind me in central Israel, there are rescue teams digging through the debris. They're using these chains to try and lift concrete blocks off of the foundation of this building where they believe people are trapped under the rubble.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Rises in the morning light. Africa's heart begins to fight for peace and justice to reign tonight. Oh no, hear our cry. I see the fire in the eyes of the youth, marching forward, standing in truth. He speaks for the voiceless, leads with grace, and the winds of change. He's found his place through the storm. He walks unshaken, with every vow a dream awaken. Africa's soul, in him we see a man with purpose, destiny. So we lift him high in prayer and song, keep him safe where he belongs. Let no evil near him stay, guiding Lord through every day. May God protect President Trump, our hope, our light in Africa's story. Wisdom filling what's ahead, not for power, not for gold, but to free the young and raise the old. He knows the weight upon his name, yet still he burns the freedom flame. A servant's heart, a leader's mind, in him a new Africa we find. So we call on angels from above, wrap him in eternal love. Lift him with your holy hands, help him lead and help him stand. May God protect President Troy, our hope, our voice in Africa's story. In every heartbeat let him hear that heaven walks with him near. Oh, may God.
Magaling daw si Casimero. Sikat daw si Casimero. Pero ang tanong, bakit kaya walang big-time promoters ang kumukuha kay John Riel Casimero? Yan po ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Ibibigay ko po sa inyo ang tatlong maaaring posibleng dahilan kung bakit walang big-time Pacquiao at kay Gibbons na maipagnegosasyon dahil may mutual understanding na sila, may history na sila, marami silang pinagsamahang mga laban kung saan kumita sila pare-pareho. Kaya naman kapag binastos mo si Manny Pacquiao at John Gibbons, napakadali para sa kanila na timbrihan ng ilang mga big-time promotional company at sabihin na X ka na, tablado ka na. Kaya kung papansinin niyo po mga amigos, matapos umalis ni Casimero sa MP Promotions noong 2021, 2025 na po ngayon, 4 na taon na ang nakalilipas, hindi na po muling napalaban sa world title fight si Casimero. At yung nga po ay dahil sinunog na po ng Team Casimero ang kanilang tulay o connection sa promoter na may magandang relasyon sa mga big time promotional company. Now, punta tayo sa number 2, unprofessionalism. Wala naman pong duda na may talento, lakas at husay ang isang quadrubalas John Riel Casimero. Kaya nga po sumugal sa kanya ang Japanese promoter na si Masayuki Ito ng Treasure Boxing Promotions. Sa kabila ng pagkakaroon ng maraming issue sa pagiging overweight ni Casimero, gaya na lamang noong 2014, pati na rin noong 2022, at iba pang mga kontrobersiya, nagbakasakali po ang Treasure Boxing Promotions na baka nagbago na si Casimero. Pero muli nga pong binigo ni Casimero ang small-time promotional company na nagbakasakali sa kanya. Kaya naman matapos mag-overweight laban kay Saul Sanchez noong nakaraang taon ng Oktubre, ay hindi na nga po ni-renew ni Masayuki Ito ang kontrata ni Casimero. At magpasa hanggang ngayon, 7 buwan na nakalilipas, mapa small time o big time promoter, wala na nga pong kumukuha kay Casimero dahil sa kanyang pagiging unprofessional. Now, punta na tayo sa number 1. Sikat sa Pinas pero hindi sa buong mundo. Wala naman pong duda na kilala si Quadrubalas John Riel Casimero sa Pilipinas. Makikita nyo naman po yung kanilang page, mayroon 1.4 million followers. Pero sa boxing po, hindi po sukatan ng husay at talento ang dami ng followers. Ang mga matchmaker, promoter, manager ay hindi po yan bumabase sa dami ng followers. Lalo na kung sa Pilipinas lang din. Ang kawalan ng interes ng mga promoters kay John Riel Casimero ay senyalis po mga amigos na hindi siya kilala worldwide. Kasi kung ihahambing po natin ang sitwasyon noong umalis si Shakur Stevenson sa top rank, sinalo agad siya ng matchroom. Noong umalis si Devin Haney sa matchroom, sinalo agad siya ng top rank. Noong umalis si contact na po ni kamahalang Turki Al-Sheikh, Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, Teofimo Lopez, Naoya Inoue. Halos lahat ng mga sikat at magagaling na boksingero ay pinapirma na po ni Turki para mag-participate sa kanyang Riyadh season. Pero narinig niyo po bang kinontak ni kamahalang Turki Al-Sheikh si John Riel Casimero? Ang sagot, hindi. Dahil hindi talaga mataas ang kanyang market value at hindi talaga siya kilala worldwide. Dahil kung totoong napakasikat ni Casimero sa buong mundo at napakagaling ni Casimero lumaban, imposible pong hindi siya mapansin ni kamahalang Turki Al-Sheikh. At kahit bumisita po kayo sa mga international boxing websites, wala po doon na mga nagbabalita tungkol kay Casimero. Ang mga nagbabalita lang ng tungkol kay Casimero ay ang mga Pinoy vloggers. Yan po ang masaklap na katotohanan. Sa hinabarahan, patunayan mo sa akin.
Kalabas ng buhay, habang ang lahat ng kanyang mga kasama, kabilang ang kapatid na pinakamamahal niya, ay hindi na muling nagising. Sa ospital, habang pinipilit niyang bumangon mula sa pisikal at emosyonal na sugat, unti-unting lumalapit ang atensyon ng buong mundo sa kanya, ang nag-iisang survivor ng isang trahedyang hindi malilimutan. Pero paano nga ba siya nakaligtas? Ano ang nangyari sa loob ng eroplano? At bakit siya lang ang binigyan ng pangalawang buhay? Bago tayo mag-umpisa, baka pwede pa like ng video na ito. Malaking bagay na to sa aming mga content creators. Maraming salamat po. Ang daming Briton ngayon ah. Siguro karamihan galing din sa bakasyon. Pansin niya. Oo, at ang dami ring bata. Sana hindi noisy sa flight, sagot ni Ajay. Nagpa-picture pa sila bago sumakay, selfie sa harap ng boarding gate na may logo ng Air India. Para kay Mama, para makita niyang safe tayo, sabi ni Ajay. Habang tinatawag na ang boarding, nagyakapan ng magkapatid. Ingat tayo bro, kita tayo sa UK, sabi ni Ajay. Oo naman. Text mo agad si Mama pagdating mo, sagot ni Vishwash. Habang papasok sa eroplano, ramdam ni Vishwash ang excitement at konting kaba. Parang normal na araw lang, walang ideya na magbabago ang buhay niya na may halong samyo ng jet fuel. Tumango siya sa flight attendant na nakangiti sa pintuan. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome aboard. Thank you, sagot niya, sabay abot ng boarding pass. Habang nilalakad niya ang aisle, hinahanap niya ang seat 11A. Tumigil siya saglit para bigyang daan ang isang matandang babae na may dalang bata. Sorry po ma'am, magalang niyang sabi. Nang makita na niya ang upuan, napansin niyang malapit ito sa emergency exit sa harap ng kaliwang pakpak. Window seat, gaya ng gusto niya. Umupo siya, nilagay ang backpack sa ilalim ng upuan at sumilip sa bintana. Sa labas, abala pa rin ang mga ground crew. May naglalagay ng bagahe, may nagche-check ng gulong, at may nagbubuhos ng tubig sa mga halaman sa gilid ng runway. Sa tabi niya, may isang batang lalaki na tila excited din. Kuya, first time mo rin bang sumakay ng airplane? Tanong ng bata habang nilalaro ang seatbelt. Hindi na, pero lagi akong excited pag may flight. Ikaw? Sagot ni Vishwash. Ngumiti. Opo, sabi ni Mama. Pupunta kami sa London para makita si Papa. Kwento ng bata. Ang saya naman. Ingat kayo ha, sagot ni Vishwash, sabay kindat. Habang naghihintay ng take-off, nag-text ulit siya sa asawa. Boarded na kami. In 10 hours, makikita na tayo. Ingat kayo dyan. Sinundan niya ito ng selfie na may background ng cabin. See you soon, love. Nagsimula ng magsalita ang cabin crew para sa safety demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the cabin crew for a demonstration of the safety procedures of this aircraft. Habang pinapakita ng flight attendant ang seatbelt at oxygen mask, tahimik na nanonood si Vishwash. Iniisip kung kailan niya talaga magagamit ang mga iyon. Sana hindi na, bulong niya sa sarili. Maya-maya, narinig na nila ang anunsyo mula sa piloto, cabin crew, prepare for takeoff. Dahan-dahang umandar ang eroplano papunta sa runway. Sa bawat pag-ikot ng gulong, mas nararamdaman ni Vishwash ang excitement. Sa isip niya, ito na, pauwi na kami. Nilingon niya ang aisle, hinahanap ang kapatid. Nakita niyang sumenya si Ajay mula sa likuran. Kumaway at nag-thumbs up. Sumagot siya ng thumbs up din, sabay ngiti. See you in London bro, bulong niya. Habang papalapit sa runway, saglit siyang pumikit at nagdasal. Lord, salamat sa lahat. Ingatan mo kami sa flight na to. Iuwi mo kami ng ligtas. Kasabay ng pagbilis ng makina, naramdaman ni Vishwash ang pag-angat ng eroplano. Tumutok siya sa bintana. Unti-unting lumiliit ang mga tao, sasakyan at gusali sa ibaba. Sa sandaling iyon, parang napaka-ordinaryo ng lahat. Isang normal na araw ng pag-uwi, isang normal na flight, at isang normal na pangarap na makabalik sa pamilya. Wala siyang kamalay-malay na ina pala ang huling sandali niya sa lupa. At magsisimula na ang isang kwento ng trahedya at himala na babago sa kanyang buhay magpakailanman. Habang unti-unting umaangat ang eroplano mula sa runway ng Ahmedabad, ramdam ni Vishwash ang pamilyar na pag-vibrate ng upuan at ang unti-unting pagbigat ng katawan, tanda ng lift-off. Sa tabi niya, napapikit ang batang pasahero, mahigpit na hawak ang kamay ng kanyang ina. Sa labas ng bintana, tanaw ni Vishwash ang mga ulap na parang bulak at sa malayo, ang mga gusali ng lungsod na mabilis na lumiliit. Nagsisimula na siyang mag-relax. Iniisip na mahaba-habang flight pa ito. Kinuha niya ang kanyang phone, nag-check ng huling mensahe mula sa asawa at naglagay ng earphones. Ngunit bago pa niya mapatugtog ang paborito niyang playlist, biglang may naramdaman siyang kakaiba. Isang malakas na kalabog ang umalingaw-ngaw mula sa ilalim ng eroplano. Parang may sumabog o tumama sa makina. Napakurap si Vishwash. Napatingin ang mga tao sa paligid. May halong kaba at pagtataka. Kuya, ano yun? Tanong ng batang katabi niya. Nanginginig ang mga pasahero. May isang matandang babae na nagdasal ng malakas. Diyos ko, iligtas mo kami. Nagsimula ng magpanik ang ilan. May sumigaw, anong nangyayari? May iba namang tahimik lang, nanginginig. Hawak-hawak ang kamay ng kanilang kasama. Ang batang katabi ni Vishwash ay napaluhana. Mama, natatakot ako.